Vayam tu na vitripyama uttama shloka vikrame yashrin vatam rasakyanam svadu svadu pade pade kirtavan kila karmani saharamena keshava ati martyani bhagavan gudha kapataman purusa kalim agatam agyaya kshetresmin vaishnave vayam asina dirga satrina kathayam sakshana hare svam na sandarshito tatra dustaram nistitir satam kalim satvaharam pumsam karnadara nivarnavam bruhi yogeshvare krishne brahmanye dharmavarmani samkastam arunopete dharmakam charanam gataha. Knowing well that the age of Kali has already begun, we are assembled here in this holy place to hear at great length the transcendental message of Godhead, and in this way perform sacrifice. We think that we have met your goodness by the will of Providence, just so that we may accept you as captain of the ship for those who desire to cross the difficult ocean of Kali, which deteriorates all the good qualities of a human being. These words were spoken by Shonaka, the chief of the Rishis at Naimisharanya, and they're spoken to Sutta Goswami, who's the speaker at Naimisharanya, speaking in Srimad Bhagavatam. So the qualifications for speaking Bhagavatam are here. Previously, they asked him to make it clear to them there are so many scriptures, but how to apply them? First of all, because average man, or even religious man, how is he going to read all the scriptures? At least the Vedas, they're so voluminous. You have to study all the time. And even if I devote myself to study, how can I understand? Because actually, there appear to be differences. So they request him, could you please select what is actually relevant instruction? So the Srimad Bhagavatam is that selection, the cream of all the Vedas. But who made this selection? How could anyone presume to edit the words of God and present only some of it? Of course, that selection was done by Vyasadeva himself, the compiler of the scriptures. After compiling all the scriptures, his spiritual master Narada instructed him to make a final compilation which had the actual essence in the Srimad Bhagavatam. So, in the cyclic succession, Vyas presented this, and his disciple Sukadeva Goswami, his son, and Sutta is speaking in that disciplic succession. He is entitled to speak because he is a disciple of Shukadeva. That is also nicely stated in this chapter. His qualifications in terms of being the disciple. Vetatvam saumya tat sarvam tatpatas tadanugrahaya guruyu snigdasya shishyasya guravo guyam apyuta. Because you are submissive Your spiritual masters have endowed you with all the favors bestowed upon a gentle disciple. Therefore, you can tell us all that you have scientifically learned from them. We should try to understand this principle. That he is a spiritual master because he was submissive to his spiritual master and can present just suitable information according to time and place. Meaning that he presents anything. This is the position. How a spiritual master not change the message, but at the same time presents it according to time and place. Similarly, with the appearance of Lord Chaitanya, he made further adjustment for the age of Kali, and stressed the Harinam process, chanting of the holy name. People were even less qualified than before. So, still stressing Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, he pushed on the point of chanting the holy name. We just saw today in the play that is also in the Bhagavatam, that the holy name is the only religious principle necessary. So the spiritual master speaks the message of Godhead, and by not changing it, it is as good as hearing from God. This is not at all to be confused with the bogus presentation the Guru or Swami or Yogi makes that he is incarnation of God. He is himself Narayan. This is usually done by the impersonalists, who say that God is not a person, but that it is a impersonal state beyond all personality. And so he is, because he is speaking this, realized in this, he said that he is as good as that Brahman. He is Brahman, you are all Brahman. He is God and you are God. And there's no need to worship God. But this is not the conclusion of the scriptures. Beyond all impersonal realization, there is the personality of God. The genuine spiritual master, he is not claiming to be Narayan. He does not even make the claim that he is 10%, 100% perfect, or that he is pure devotee. He doesn't have to be perfect in every respect. But he has to repeat the message of Godhead perfectly. He has to work perfectly in this way to deliver the message. We've given this example that an expert electrician, he may take an apprentice, and under his guidance, in that limited context of working very closely with the electrician and doing everything that he asks him to do, he can function perfectly under the guidance of the electrician. He said, well, but he's not a master electrician. But if he does everything under the guidance of exactly what he was shown, he will also be working perfectly to the degree that it follows. So similarly, if we have complete faith in the perfect, in the all-perfect personality of Godhead, and in our spiritual master, and with faith, we present this message. And provided we have the blessings of the previous Acharya and our spiritual master, and the blessings of Krishna, then whoever hears with similar faith, it is as good as hearing from God. God is great, and we are tiny. Sometimes we call the meeting with a saintly person as darshan. Darshan is generally used to mean see the deity of the Lord, the form of the Lord. How can we say to meet a jiva soul is equal to seeing God? It is not seeing, it is hearing. But you have to be actually interested. You have to be inquiring into the absolute truth. Then you can have audience of God in the sound vibration of the person who is exactly repeating the message of God. There will be no difference. There will be nothing lacking, and you can get the word of God if you want it, if you can hear it from the authorized representative, who is not God, so not even a servant of God. Servant of God is also a very great title, but servant of the servant of the servant. But that still is authorized and we could say via media. It does not obstruct you from God. Rather, you have no direct access to God. At least that is the statement of the Lord Himself. Ye me bhakta jana partha, na me bhaktas chite jana, mad bhaktan chite bhaktas, te me bhakta mamata. He who says he's my devotee, the devotee of God, who's ever proclaiming, yes, I'm a devotee of God. This is the word. Krishna is speaking to Arjuna. And he's in the Puranas. He who says he's my devotee, he's not my devotee. So, if we're saying that I'm a devotee of God, and God Himself says He's not, and yes, I'm a very intimate friend of this person, and then the person himself says, who? No, he's not. He's not a friend of mine. Then it is finished. My claim is finished. So God says, he who says he's my devotee, he's not my devotee. But he who is a devotee of my devotee, he's my devotee. So if he wants to be approached in this way, through the representative, and it is direct. By the mercy of the spiritual master, we directly see Krishna in Archa Vigraha, the deity form in the temple. We directly take the name of God. There's nothing indirect. Within our mouth is the personality of God in the form of the holy name. It doesn't have to come, it's not someone else's mouth. God is chanting on my tongue. He's in my heart. With my eyes I'm seeing the deity. But by the blessings of the spiritual master is this coming to be. Otherwise I would not be chanting. I'd be speaking nonsense, eating nonsense, seeing something other than the deity. And even if these things came before me, I would not understand what they are. But if God is infinite, how can the infinitesimal devotee or servant of the servant, how can he deliver God? God is an ocean, and the spiritual master is a pond